All right, if you're an occupational therapist or physical therapist and you've been thinking about becoming a certified hand therapist, or you already know you want it, it's just about doubling down, studying, and doing what you need to do to actually sit for the exam and become a certified hand therapist. My name is Wong. I'm an occupational therapist and certified hand therapist, and I help therapists, study and pass the boards. So Amanda here, she's got a bunch of questions that she's been gathering from all of our emails, all of our DMs, that kind of stuff. And just in general, over the last, 5 or 6 years I've been doing this, I get a lot of the same questions, and I want to help you feel more comfortable, more confident about what's possible for you, right? Because I am a huge believer that high tide raises all boats. And if, as an occupational therapist, if we can help each other become certified hand therapists, become experts in our field, there's going to be more therapists who stay in the field. There's going to be more therapists who, get that designation that they've been wanting, and they're going to feel great working with their patients, build their reputation. And that's a goal of mine. That's a goal of mine, from the beginning of Hand Therapy Secrets. And I do this specifically through the exam prep program. So come on, Amanda, ask me some questions.
So, how can becoming a CHT significantly expand an OT or PT's job opportunities and flexibility to work in, many different locations and settings?
All right. So how can becoming a certified hand therapist essentially expand your job opportunities, be able to work anywhere, be able to move and be able to find jobs? Believe it or not, there are a lot of positions out there for certified hand therapists. Why? Just because by the sheer number, there's not a ton of certified hand therapists. There's only worldwide, there's about, let's say, under 8,000 certified hand therapists. Now, there's always a group of new therapists coming in, and then there's the therapists who've been working for a long time and they're gonna phase out of their career and start to retire. So there's always a cycle of life, a cycle of career, and there's always room for more certified hand therapists. There are billions of people who live worldwide, not just in the United States. Now, the Hand Therapy Commission is based out of the US, Canada, but even if you live or work somewhere else in another country, you have to look to see if it's possible for you, because the rules and things like that play a role in being able to sit for the board certification. But here is where becoming a certified hand therapist gives you great opportunities. It expands your opportunities, right? And it gives you great ability to be able to move locations, be able to work how you work, where you work. And that's because when you get the designation, people see you as an expert. I'm not asking for how many tendons you've worked on. I'm not asking for how many hours you've massaged somebody. By the sheer letters behind your name, that automatically tells someone that you're an expert, right? That you're willing to study, that you're willing to learn, and that you have a certain amount of knowledge. And if you don't know it, then you have the capacity to find that information. That is why becoming a certified hand therapist gives you such great opportunities. So here's a caveat. So a lot of people think that they have to get the opportunity and then they'll become a certified hand therapist. But no, most companies are looking for someone who has a certain amount of experience, and they're also looking for someone who has a certain amount of drive that they showcase first, and then they get hired. I can tell you right now, 100% hands down, every single therapist that I have helped, whether it be through my program or through my own clinic, have come in here, stood on the shoulders of my program, become certified hand therapists, leave with being able to get a job anywhere they want and ask for more money. Period. Period, right? With the T. They can then say, oh, well, I no longer want to be in Miami. I want to be in another town. I want to be in another city, right? Because there are jobs out there and you just have to be willing to go after them. You can't just sit in your house and be like, I don't I don't know where those opportunities are. Dude, you gotta fucking look for that shit. And then when you find it, you have to work for it. It's just not gonna fall into your lap, right? But hands down, I've seen it, one, in my own career. I've done it, I've helped hundreds of others do it. So if you're just like, oh, I don't know if it's for me, I haven't seen any opportunities, there's so many opportunities out there. Some people tell me, oh, I don't really need it because like where I'm at, they don't require it. But you know what? You never know. In 2 years' time, they could sell that company to another company, and now that new company requires a CHT. And guess what? I don't give a shit if you've been there 10 years, 15 years, but you haven't done anything to further yourself along. Someone else with less years of experience, less, clinical knowledge, with those letters can come after your job because you've been complacent. I know it sounds mean, right? The way I might be coming across. Like, I'm passionate about it.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Girl, please. It is a dog-eat-dog world. You have to be competitive out there in the marketplace. Just because you have a degree doesn't mean that you can just get the job because you have a degree. Just because you have the letters doesn't mean. So you have to do a little bit of both, right? You got to get the letters and you got to get the experience. You got to get the experience and you got to get the letter. It's not black and white. It's not just like only do this and I can only eat my fish first and then I can have my rice and then I can have my broccoli. You kind of might have to mix a little bit.
Why is it crucial to invest in the right program if someone is serious about advancing their hand therapy career, and when should they do it?
Okay, so it's extremely critical to invest into the right program if you're serious about advancing your career, because when you don't, you can be stalled, right? You can be stalled because, studying for the CHT is time consuming and it can be challenging, right? And you want to, if possible, right? And this is your choice. Because here's the thing, you don't have to, but if you are hanging around with negative people, they by default will influence you. If they tell you, well, it's too hard, I wasn't able to do it, so they're influencing you because they're telling you, since they couldn't do it, you shouldn't do it either. Because let's face it, nobody wants you to do better than them. That's just human nature. I didn't do it. You can look that shit up, right? But that's human nature. So you essentially want to put yourself into a group of people who are doing the same thing that you want to do, which is to become a better therapist, to be able to study in a way that helps you to apply your knowledge. The CHT exam is unlike any other exam because it's not just about, memorizing shit. I'm not gonna quiz you. Someone on the exam is not gonna quiz you. What's the answer to this? They're not doing that. They're gonna ask you very application-based questions that take what you do know and then be able to apply it. So when you're in the right program that helps you to do that, once it boosts your confidence so that you can feel like you understand this so you can take it to your patients, but two, you can understand the questions, be able to answer any question that comes your way. And being in the right program, surrounded by the right group of people, will help you do that and help you to do it faster. And what do I mean by faster? It's not that you're studying, in less time per se, but in a way, yeah. So my program is 6 months long, but if without the program, it might have taken you years, right? Because you're gonna start and you're gonna stop, you're gonna start and you're gonna stop, and then you're gonna let things get in the way because something always comes up. Right now, we're about to go through some weather shit, hurricanes and stuff like that. There's always something coming up. And I don't want to diminish bad events. They happen. But you know what's more common than bad events? Common day events that just make people give up, make people feel like, oh no, I'll just wait. I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it when my friend wants to do it with me. Girl, that friend ain't never gonna do it with you. So now you'll both be stalled. You'll both not have your CHT, and then time will pass you regardless. So getting into the right program will help set your mind and create that environment that you need to be able to do the hard things. If you're looking for a sign, this is your sign. This is your sign. Start now. Start now.
What are the key benefits that your program offers compared to other CHT programs?
The key benefit that my program offers as compared to others is really, I think it comes down to my teaching style. It comes down to my teaching style and how I've created this curriculum. It follows a very particular structure. It follows a very particular plan of action. And it is created so that you can continuously move through the curriculum in a way that builds upon itself. Instead of taking one little snippet of, oh, you have to understand, flexor tendon protocols and let's just memorize it. It is built off of the foundational aspects. I've talked about this before, my fast track framework to help you think through all the natures of the tissue, and then we have to learn the nature of the injuries, the surgeries, or the disease process, but I've taken all these frameworks and I've made it not about just memorization. The memorization part is kind of like the easy part, or the ones like, you can make your own flashcards. I'm not here to make your flashcards for you. Like, I'm not here to print your shit out for you. I'm here, the crucial aspect of my program is to help you to understand, to study the information, and then to apply the information. If you don't study the information, you cannot apply it, right? But if you only sit to memorize, then the application aspect of it will be extremely difficult and overwhelming because you won't be able to answer the questions as it is required on the CHT exam. So that's my biggest crucial aspect of my program. I think that that is different from other people's programs is the knowledge base, and then being able to apply it, and then creating the environment where you are with a lot of like-minded therapists who are doing exactly what you're doing. So it not only gives you structure, but it holds you accountable and gives you the support that you need. We have a huge amount of live calls. You're in the program to get the help and to get it fast, right? So I always tell my students, like, listen, you paid to come into this program. Do not worry about bothering me. I am here so you can bother me, right? It is not a bother, right? I am waiting and looking for your questions because you want to know, as soon as possible so you can continue the momentum of your studying. Let me know if that makes sense, right? So we have a huge amount of live components of it. We have live calls. We have calls where we really, pay attention to how you move through treatments. And then, of course, the practice questions. We have dedicated calls just to do practice questions. So my goal of the program, yes, is to help you to study in a way that passes, but my greater goal is to help you be able to treat any patient that comes in, to your clinic and you feel really confident. Like I always tell my students, I've never seen a toe to thumb transfer, but I know exactly what to do because of the way I'm teaching you to think through your cases. You'll be able to treat any case that comes your way. If you're a therapist and you're kind of frustrated with where you're working, you're feeling stagnant, unhappy with the lack of opportunities that you have, or you just, you want this because you want to move into a different setting, or you might potentially move in the near future and you want to get your CHT, now is the time to start to study, and my program is going to help you get there. I want to help you. I want to help you get all the job opportunities in the world. I want you to feel happy in your career. I want you to feel really confident with all the patients that you're going to be able to help in the future once you're a certified hand therapist, or even better because you're such a great therapist already. I want to help you. I want to help you through my program. The exam prep program opens October 26th through November 9th, and we have a free live masterclass call October 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I look forward to having an opportunity to talk to you and to engage with you further on that type of call.